Guys, so today's video is not a fun video, it's not a beauty video, it is not TikTok. I'm going to be talking about things that are actually affecting the world, affecting my gender, affecting us as women at large. Okay, so yesterday different news broke out about rape culture. Uwa was raped in a church while she was reading and killed. A 3-year-old girl was raped. I'm not sure whether she died, but that's not the point right now. A 12-year-old girl was raped by 11 guys. For goodness sake, why do men behave like animals? I mean, comparing guys to animals is actually a disrespect to animals in the real sense, but if that is what it has come to, why do men behave like animals? Like, why can't you just control where you want to put your penis? Like, I mean, there are women that are willing to give you sex for free. There are women that are willing to, have sex for a particular amount of money, and some of these things even come readily available and cheap. But I would never understand why men derive pleasure in forcefully having sex with a woman. Why do you guys feel entitled to a woman's body? Like, I'm not in this world to please you or to please your sexual desires or to fulfill your stupid sexual urges. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. And before you guys come here to tell me not all men, you can just go ahead and do that on your page, on your platform. Because when you say not all men, so when we talk about these men, what are you doing to talk about it? Because I see that some of you guys, when it comes to these things, you just go very quiet and like, oh, it doesn't hit close to home, so it doesn't really affect me. Also, there are some stupid guys that when we talk about these things, when women come out, especially those that don't have the courage to come out immediately, these things happen to them. When we talk about this, the first stupid smelly take they have is, oh, where's the evidence? Oh, there's no evidence to prove that she was raped. Am I supposed to install a camera in my vagina? Like, bro, okay, fine, there is no evidence, all well and good. So what about the ones that are just here in our faces now, that are all over in the news? What are you doing? I've not seen you guys post anything about, helping to trend the hashtag, talking about it, tweeting, saying something, because at least with these ones now you have evidence. So what are you actually doing? You just go numb, go cricket, because, well, it doesn't hit close to home. It doesn't always have to hit close to home before you have empathy, before you have common sense to know that these are things that have been affecting generations to come, affecting us now, and if we don't speak up, we're going to fail the next generation. I don't want to fail the next generation coming after me. I don't want the next generation to come and ask, oh, why is this thing still prevailing? What did the last generation do to help us? Because in as much as we might want to deny it, our parents are actually some of the people that contributed to these stupid things. Because according to the way they were trained in the traditional way of, you have to be careful as a lady, you should always be careful around guys, don't wear this, don't wear that. Subconsciously, I actually find myself policing things I want to wear, because I'm like, oh, are my cups showing too much? If I go out there, are guys going to be staring at me? But I have to constantly unlearn and relearn that guys shouldn't be entitled to my body. I should be able to wear anything I want to wear. Because if you actually say, oh, she was not decently dressed, she was in a club, what about women that were raped in hijab? What about the small baby that was raped? Was she indecently dressed? What about the girl that was raped in a church? Like, some people actually, okay, what about lesson teachers that come into your house to lecture your students or to lecture your children or to teach your children and were raped right under you? What about uncles? that rape their nieces, or even fathers that rape their children. Now let's not even go into talking about marital rape, because that's another discussion entirely. What are you going to say about these things? Were they in places they are not supposed to be? I mean, these are things that sometimes when you want to say some things, like when these things come up and you think, oh, was she indecently dressed? You can think into your head, but don't let it come out. Do you understand? Just zip, okay? Because I'm trying to calm down. Like all through yesterday, I've not really been able to get myself together because it's just crazy. Why? Why should you say, oh, I see this girl and you're the one I want? I don't want you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. And if I say no, no should be no. It's not by force, to be very honest. And then I'm seeing some other things about carrying a pepper spray is illegal in Nigeria. Ladies, you can actually pour methylated spirits in a spray bottle. It works well for blindness. Because if anybody comes close to you, even if the rapist might overpower you or anything, you will know that you fought for yourself. Having to defend yourself shouldn't be a crime. Okay? I think I actually saw a screenshot this morning, or a tweet rather, this morning. Someone said the other day my sister was alone at home while the AC was being installed by a male worker. When I remembered, I panicked and I started running back home just in case. Nothing happened, but that constant fear is paralyzing. Now, I can relate to this so much because as a young lady that lives alone, most of my neighbors are guys. Now, these are guys that I've had to have a conversation with a couple of times. Maybe like we just meet each other in the compound and I'm heading into my flat. From what I know, they seem like good guys, but you can't really trust anybody right now because even someone that is closest to you can harm you. Now, not to talk of somebody that I don't even know from Adam and then we just happen to be sharing the same compound, so to say, or the same apartment, so to say. Now, the other day when my AC was being installed, I remember calling my cousin because he lives close by. So I remember calling my cousin to come around and keep me company while the guys were coming to install the AC because there were two guys. And that's the kind of constant fear that we live in, because how can you be coming to install something in my house and then I have to always call somebody, call a friend, or schedule an appointment for these people in a time where I know that I'm not going to be the only one indoors with them. Do you understand? Which is actually very unnecessary. You shouldn't have to tell me as a lady that you need to be careful, you need to protect yourself around men, you need to be careful of men. I shouldn't have to be careful of men. Are you guys animals? Are you people insane? Don't tell me to not walk in a place where a lot of guys are. Talk to the guys. Tell them you shouldn't hurt women. They are not made for you. You're not entitled to them. They are not your property. You don't own women, okay? So rather than telling me, oh, be very careful around guys, tell the guys. If she says no, then that's not, if she doesn't want to talk to you, that's totally fine. If they shouldn't be scared of you, okay? Unless you're a demon, unless you're a beast, unless you're an idiot that doesn't know when not to cross the line, when not to cross boundaries. There are times when I actually have people that want to come and fix something in my house, want to come and fix something in my apartment, and sometimes when I know that okay, there is no practical way when I'm going to have anybody around me to keep me company or just to make sure that I'm not the only one in the house with these guys, I actually always have to have a knife handy. I'm not even joking, like this is not even a joking matter or anything. I actually always have to have a knife handy, or something that in case anything happens, God forbid, but I can always just use that to defend myself. And while we're talking about this whole thing, this whole movement trying to change the way that things are viewed, there are some guys out there, guys in the general sense of both guys and ladies now, especially ladies. There are some of you out there that make excuses for these men, maybe because you feel, oh, if I speak up against them, my male friends are not going to be friends with me anymore, or if I speak up against them, they won't view me as that cool chick that they hang out with. Your head is not working properly, and I'm here to tell you. Because when these guys sit down to have roundtable discussions, the things they talk about are so cringe-worthy. Have you ever listened to when guys analyze the body of a lady? Like, guys will actually see you and undress you in their mind. In fact, why am I going too far? There was this very stupid skit of some guy, Nasty Black or whatever, the other day that was making a skit about, do you have a oil or so? I'm not sure if you guys watched that skit, but he just brought to life what guys do in their heads. This guy sees a lady in his skit and undresses the lady. That's how rapists behave. And for you that you've managed not to rape anybody, nobody is going to give you a medal for doing what is right. Now, if you now go ahead to start making excuses for your guys, or because they are my guys, because there are no evidence, I'm here to tell you that you're just a rape apologist. And you're just as good as them, as the guys that rape. Because if people call you out or call your friend out to say, your friend raped me, your first thought shouldn't be, I'm sure my guy didn't do it. Were you there? Even if you're looking for evidence, don't open your mouth and come and be talking that, I'm sure my guy didn't do it. Okay, if it turns out to be that your guy did it, what are you going to do? No, what are you actually going to do? Because now when ladies talk about things that, affect us, you guys don't know our struggles, so just shut the hell up. Okay? Practically 9 out of 10 ladies have been sexually molested, sexually harassed, sexually assaulted before. So I woke up to a tweet this morning about a lady saying that the other night she was driving home in a cab. I think whether last year or something, she was in an Uber anyway, going home, and this soldier stopped the car. So when the soldier stopped the car, asked her to come down, remaining the driver alone in the car, and he was talking about, what's your name, are you a virgin? Why are you asking me such stupid questions, bro? But I mean, in that situation, the lady was obviously scared because this is a soldier, this is at night, he was with his colleague. So if anything goes wrong, she's going to be the one to suffer for it. And she said, while she was trying to be stubborn about her responses, the next thing the soldier said was, you better be careful, or something of that sort, that if you piss me off or if you annoy you, I'm not really sure if that's how the tweet was worded, but anyway, what the soldier said was, if you piss me off or if you annoy me, I'm going to take you into the bush, do what I want to do to you, and nothing is going to happen. Because these guys know that when we come out to speak up, we don't really have people to support us. And in as much as everyone is trying to use their platform to talk about these things, put out tweets there, make sure it's trending, there are some people that you're waiting for celebrities or you're waiting for your idols to post something before you can jump on the bandwagon or before you can jump on the trend. I'm not really going to call it a trend per se, but I mean, this is a public discussion now, and everyone is trying to create awareness about things that are actually going on that are wrong and we need change and all of that. So some people on Twitter will be there saying, oh, I've not heard this particular celebrity talk about this, I've not heard this particular celebrity talk about this. What are you doing with your own platform? Did you open your account to come and do monitoring spirits for these guys? Before you tell me that's because I don't have thousands of followers or because my followers don't interact with me, no, audience is too small. If whatever you put out is going to get to just one person, just two, just five people. I mean, we're good to go, because you can't keep on sitting down saying, oh, it's because I don't have a large audience. Start from somewhere. Talk to somebody today. When that person gets it, the person is going to talk to another person, and that is how the chain goes on until it reaches a large audience of people. Don't wait around for celebrities. I mean, those guys are tone deaf anyway, and they only post things that are beneficial to them, or things that are trendy, or for aesthetics. As long as these things don't fit into their, what's it called now, into their bubble of very sweet life, they go numb, they go cricket. And don't waste your time waiting for those guys. Also, for the fact that we as citizens now, we have to always constantly push for a change. We have to always make sure that we trend these things on social media before our government can respond. One of you people's first ladies, or let me just say one of our first ladies, I don't know of which state, actually said, or maybe it was even for Nigeria as a whole, I don't know, but I know there was a particular first lady that said that she's not concerned about this thing because she didn't sign an oath of office of the first lady. But you get privileges for being the first lady, ma. You will talk about things that are just very irrelevant, ma, and you have a large audience. Some of the first ladies go out there and all they use their platform to talk about is how to push for submission in marriage, how to sustain a home, how to make sure that if your husband is cheating on you, you fight for your marriage as a woman, yada yada yada. First of all, who told you that I'm interested in getting married? That's not my business. Let's talk about things that are readily affecting everybody now, that is affecting us, are going to, most likely going to affect the next generation to come. We don't have to inherit your silence. And now that you have a good platform, that you're supposed to change the way you view things, you're using that to talk about things that is not going to benefit me in any way. What's my business with submission in a marriage? If I want to submit in a marriage, or I don't want to, is there an exam that I'm submitting to? Let's even start from there. And if I don't want to submit, that's not your business. However, women or a lady chooses to run her marital home is not your business. If I want a marriage counselor, I'm going to go to one. Let's talk about things that are affecting the society now. So while you guys are waiting for them to talk, remember that you have your own particular number of audience. You have people that are following you, and one way or the other, these people will interact with your tweets. Even if they don't reply, I'm sure they see it. Unless you are from other side of the world and maybe you have ghosts or dead bodies following you, I do not know, and I don't really care. Then coming back to the government, why must we always trend something before our government decides to take action? I know that we're in a shithole, but can't we have at least one or two leaders that are going to just make a change? You know, just give me something fresh, something new. Let me know that, okay, your administration is a breath of fresh air. Not, honestly, it's just really tiring. I feel like we sound like broken records now. We keep talking about the same thing over and over and over again, and we're just living amongst animals, and you guys just don't want to listen. You guys just don't want to change. You guys are so sick. It's crazy. Now let me even leave Nigeria, the world at large. Out of the country, America, you have police brutality. What exactly is this 2020? Because I'm confused. I'm not really getting it. You have police brutality and you have public figures who like to jump on the black culture. But when it comes to talking about things that actually affect black people, You're nowhere to be found. You're dead and gone, and in some kind of personal coma or whatever. Let's talk about these things. What is it about the Blacks Lives Matter hashtag that is biting your body, that you can't, as much as just put a hashtag, just Black Lives Matter? Why must you always say all lives matter? All lives matter, but right there and then we're seeing police um or people screaming all lives matter, but you're shooting the blacks. Why? I mean, why is there so much wickedness in the heart of people? About these things? It's not going to take anything from you. It won't finish your data. It won't finish your Wi-Fi or whatever. You guys post very irrelevant things, and let's not even mention social media platforms themselves that shadow ban these hashtags. When the other day I heard something about TikTok shadow banning the Black Lives Matter hashtag, whether YouTube was taking down some videos. Like, this is all so stupid. We just want to live in peace. I just want to be able to go anywhere as a woman, as a black woman, as a Nigerian lady, as a female, without the fear of, okay, if I travel out of the country or if I start living here, somebody is going to kill me because of my color. What is it about that white color that feels so superior? Like, it's just skin tone. I don't want to have to go anywhere and think, oh my god, if I go out there to start jogging in the morning, men might, you know, monitor my movements. You won't believe that. I live alone now, but sometimes I'm just so paranoid. I'm like, okay, let me not turn on the lights at particular times so that they won't know that, oh, this is the time she turns off her lights, this is time she turns on her. Do you understand? Like, just trying to avoid, maybe in any case there is anybody that might be stalking you, that might be watching you and might want to monitor, master your routine, so that when anyone wants to perpetrate an evil act, they know the time your lights are off, they know the time you get back from work. I don't like to live in a routine life because of things like this. I can continue to go on and on and on, but let's just do better. For guys, talk to your fellow men. Sanitize your mind, sanitize yourselves. Women are not your properties. Even when they are married to you and your wife says she's not in the mood, then just accept that. Now imagine a father fingering his baby, maybe his 3-year-old child, and the wife walks in on them. Do you know the kind of traumatizing experience that wife is going to have for the rest of her life? And then the man was like, oh, I'm so sorry, it was the devil. You are a bastard. Just leave people alone. Leave women, leave us alone. Stop killing women, stop raping women. If I say I don't want to be in a relationship with you, I don't want to be your friend, I don't want to be, like, just let me be. Do you understand? I'm not in this life to please you. Like, what is it about the women body, or that is just so, brag, I must have you all to myself? Go and meet prostitutes. Go and meet people. Now, this is not to say that prostitutes don't have life or don't have rights to say they don't want to have anything to do with you. You don't rape prostitutes either. But when I mean go and meet prostitutes, these are people that, they can readily say, okay, fine, this is what I do, and I'm just here to pleasure you in some kind of way. But if you see a prostitute and you meet her to say, oh, hey, what's up, are you down? And she says no, then just leave her alone. Don't say because she's a prostitute, she must satisfy your sexual urge. No. It was this same last year in Abuja that some policemen went to raid, I think, a brothel, or whether they parked the prostitutes off the road. I don't really know how the story went. But at the end of the day, what we heard was that they were raping these prostitutes in the police station, talking about, well, you're a prostitute anyway, so are you foolish? Imagine raping people with pure water nylons, pure water sachets. Like, how stupid can you get? That's I know this video might trigger a lot of people. This video might trigger um a lot of ugly memories for people, but it just had to be done. It just had to be said. It is too much. We need to stop. We need to do better. Please. I'm actually begging, I'm pleading, I'm ranting, talking to people, hoping that you're going to take something away from this video. If as a lady you've been a rape apologist, you need to stop. I can't count how many people I've had to cut off in the last couple of years because you just don't want to learn. Even if we were brought up in the traditional way of the girls must always be the ones to protect themselves, men don't have any qualms about these things. Unlearn and relearn. Don't be an idiot. Don't be static in life. You know, the world is constantly changing. Change with it. Don't just be. You're not a statue, okay? So when people are talking about these things, even if you don't have anything sensible to say, at that point, keep quiet, observe, look at, okay, what are these guys talking about? How can I be better for myself? You don't have to wait for it to hit close to home. And while you're saying it hasn't hit close to home yet, you don't know whether tomorrow is going to be your sister, it's going to be your child, it's going to be your mom. Yes, they rape older women, in case you don't know. It's going to be your cousin, it's going to be any female person around you. One thing I'm just going to say lastly is that when victims come out to talk, let's stop that comparison of, oh, Miss A that was raped must have been somebody's mother, must have been somebody's child, must have been somebody's wife, somebody's sister, before you can support the movement, before you can talk about how callous these things are. Miss A is a human being. Miss A is a lady. Miss A is somebody that has right over her body and over whoever she wants to lay with. Let's do better, please. I'm just going to end the video here. I mean, I can just continue to talk and talk, but I'm hoping this video is going to touch somebody, is going to help somebody to improve. If you're a rapist, your day is coming. I promise you, your day is coming. If you are a rape apologist, in fact, it's so sickening that, you know, older people imagine somebody, a very senior member of the legal profession, being a rape apologist. And this is not even something hearsay. This is something that happened in my presence. We were having a discussion and, you know, this person was just going on and on and on and laughing with his other senior members of the profession itself. And I'm like, these are supposed to be lawyers that people will run to. So if your first mindset or the first thing that comes to your mind is, where was she? Then you're already biased. How will you be able to help this person to get justice? Please, let's do better. Let's have sense. Like, it shouldn't be that hard, to be very honest. It's just common sense. If a lady says no, then just go. There are, I mean, like 7 billion people in the world, and it's just that one person you want to die on top. If you rape somebody and they catch you, you will actually die by the special grace of God. If justice does not catch up with you, God will catch up with you. And for people that are using this opportunity to say, oh, who is your God? She was raped in the church. If you don't believe in God, then stop making other people that believe in God feel like they're doing something wrong. If you want to continue to insult God with your platform, do that, okay? But don't come, if I post something about the scripture, or if I post something about what God says in the Quran about all these kind of things, don't come and be asking me, oh, so you can post this thing now, but your God was there when she was being raped. Your God was there. Please go and be a pagan. Go and be an atheist, or be an atheist, whatever it's called, on your own. Don't come to my page and come and telling me what I'm going to talk about God or what I'm going to do with my page, okay? The ways of God are not the ways of men, and however God wants to handle it, or however God wants to deal with this person, it's not really my business. But all I know is that I'm going to continue to trust God. I'm going to continue to pray for protection, and I just hope that this video helps somebody. I just hope that this video helps us to do better. Yeah, thank you.